The assessment can be completed through a smartphone, pad, or computer. The following questions are merely an example of the types of questions found in the assessment. By no means are these the only questions asked. Finding the J point is key to accurately recognizing ST elevation depression. Here the participants are asked to drag the dot to the junction point, which marks the beginning of the ST segment. Once they have placed the dot, they can click OK to submit their answer. Also included are some text questions regarding basic aspects of the ECG as it relates to STEMI recognition. Some of those aspects include the PR segment and the ST segment. 12-lead acquisition is also addressed in the assessment. Here, we ask participants to evaluate the image and decide if they agree with the placement of the chest electrodes. We include questions about limb electrodes as well. The amount of ST deviation is affected by changes in ECG calibration and frequency response. Here we ask the participant to determine if the ECG was obtained in standard calibration. STEMI recognition and localization requires that healthcare providers are able to correlate each lead with its associated region of the left ventricle. And since ST elevation must be present in anatomically contiguous leads, we assess for that ability as well. A few years ago, the ST segment guidelines changed the amount of ST elevation required to suspect STEMI in certain leads. Currently in V2 and V3, the amount of elevation is determined by age and gender. Once the J point has been found and compared to the isoelectric line, one must estimate the amount of ST deviation, either elevation or depression. One of the major aspects of the assessment is placing ECGs into specific categories based on the likelihood of STEMI. Clicking the Information button provides definitions of the categories. If the ECG does not meet the ST elevation criteria, it would be categorized as not a STEMI. If the ECG meets the ST elevation criteria and the most frequent STEMI imposters can be ruled out, then it would be categorized as STEMI. If the ECG meets the ST elevation criteria and a STEMI imposter is identified, then, for now, it would be categorized as a maybe. Once the full assessment is completed, the participant can click to see how they did. For the individual, results are first grouped into the 5 levels with scores for each level. Then the participant can drill down and get more specific results organized by the learning objective. As other topics beyond STEMI are released, participants can get results from those various topics all on one screen. When organizations utilize the assessment, they can access their system performance through an administrative dashboard. The first view shows how the entity performed in the assessment as well as a comparison to the national aggregate. The next drill down shows how various subgroups performed. These subgroups are defined by the agency itself. Also available is a report on how the entity performed in each of the main topics of the assessment. Results provide a gap analysis and recommendations for specific, short, targeted learning modules. Performance for individual learning objectives of each main topic is available in the admin dashboard. The drill down continues to individual staff members. Each healthcare provider receives an individualized report detailing which targeted learning modules could be most useful for them.